Once upon a time, in a small African town, there was a primary school named Bright Stars Academy. It was one of the best schools in the area, known for its discipline, good morals, and hardworking teachers. But there was one teacher who had a secret that the school was not aware of. Her name was Miss Kemi. She was the class teacher for Primary 1. Looking at her, she seemed like a kind and caring woman. She always smiled at parents, greeted them warmly, and assured them that their children were in good hands. But what no one knew was that Miss Kemi had a terrible habit, a very bad habit. She loved food, not just any food, but the food brought by her students. Every day, children came to school with lunch packs prepared by their parents. Some had rice and chicken, others had beans and plantain, while a few had delicious jollof rice with fried fish. The smell of their food filled the classroom, making Miss Kemi's mouth water. At first, she would only take small bites from one or two students' meal, pretending to help them open their lunch boxes. But soon, her greed became uncontrollable. She started collecting food from almost every child, leaving them with only a few spoons to eat. The hungry children were too scared to complain. Whenever a child cried about being hungry, Miss Kemi would scold them. "Keep quiet. You should have eaten well before coming to school," she would say, even though she was the one who had eaten their food. It wasn't long before parents started noticing something strange. Their children came home almost every day hungry, complaining that they had not eaten all day. One day, a mother named Mrs. Ade decided to investigate. Her son Toby had been complaining about hunger for weeks. Yet, every morning, she packed his favorite meals for school. "Toby, are you sure you are not giving your food to your friends?" she asked him one evening. Toby shook his head. "No, mommy, I never even get to eat it. Our teacher eats most of it." Mrs. Ade opened her eyes in shock. "Your teacher? Miss Kemi?" Toby nodded his head. "Yes, mommy. She always tells us that she is just testing, but she eats almost everything." Mrs. Ade was surprised. How could a grown-up woman be stealing food from children? "This is unbelievable. I won't let this go without doing anything." She decided that she had to catch Miss Kemi in the act. The next morning, Mrs. Ade packed Toby's lunch as usual, but placed a small hidden camera inside his lunch bag. She told him to keep the bag open on his desk while he ate. At lunchtime, as expected, Miss Kemi walked around the class, inspecting the children's food. She saw Toby's jollof rice with grilled chicken and licked her lips. "Toby, let me help you cut the chicken," she said with a fake smile. Before Toby could respond, she took a big bite of the chicken and scooped a large spoonful of jollof rice. The other children watched silently. They were used to it. What Miss Kemi didn't know was that the small camera in Toby's bag had recorded everything. That evening, Mrs. Ade watched the video and was filled with anger. She shared it with a few other parents in a private group chat, and they were all shocked. Their children had been telling the truth all along. The next morning, the parents stormed the school, demanding to see the headmaster. "Mr. Olumide, your teacher has been stealing food from our children," Mrs. Ade said, placing her phone on his desk and playing the video. The headmaster was speechless. "This is unacceptable," he said, shaking his head. "I trusted Miss Kemi, and she has been making our students suffer." Miss Kemi was called into the office. When she saw the video, her face turned pale. I I was only trying to teach them how to share," she stammered. The headmaster shouted angrily, "Share? By eating all their food and leaving them hungry?" She had no excuse. She was immediately fired. She pleaded for mercy, but no one listened to her. "You want to bring disgrace to this great school? You want to tarnish the good image that this institution has built over the years with your greedy and shameless acts? This is the end of the road for you. Leave this premises at once." Miss Kemi left shamefully, regretting her actions. With Miss Kemi gone, the students could finally eat their food in peace. The school hired a new teacher who was kind and caring. She made sure that every child was well fed and even encouraged parents to bring extra snacks for those who forgot their lunch. As for Miss Kemi, she became the laughingstock of the town. People called her the greedy teacher, and no school wanted to hire her again. From that day on, the children of Bright Star Academy never had to worry about a hungry stomach again. Moral lessons from this story. First, greed leads to downfall. Miss Kemi's excessive greed for food cost her job and reputation. Greedy behavior always leads to negative consequences. Secondly, honesty and courage matter. The students, especially Toby, were brave enough to speak up about the unfair treatment. Speaking the truth, even when it is difficult, can bring justice. Thirdly, parents should listen to their children. At first, parents might have thought their kids were exaggerating, but Mrs. Ade's decision to investigate helped expose the truth. Parents should always pay attention to their children's complaints. Number 4, teachers should care for their students, not exploit them. A teacher's duty is to guide and protect students, not take advantage of them. True educators should be role models of kindness and fairness. Finally, justice will always prevail. No matter how long bad deeds continue, the truth will eventually come out. Miss Kemi thought she would never be caught, but her actions were exposed in the end. Alright guys, this brings us to the end of the story of the greedy teacher. Please drop your comments and tell us what you think about the story. What did you learn from the story? Drop your comments, let's hear from you. And don't forget to like and share this video. If you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please hit the subscribe button and also turn on the bell so you'll be notified whenever I post a new video. Thank you guys. See you in my next video. Bye for now.